My name's Garrett. I live in Cape Town, and we are at the University of Cape Town, where I've started my first year as an undergrad. I'm studying labour, organisational psychology and human resource management, but I like to just kind of shorten that into people vibes. Friends first, some would call it a charismatic church, where there's, during worship for instance, there's dancing and whatever people feel, however people feel led to worship God. Worship is a personal encounter where we connect with God and we worship Him. I mean, we often, like, I'll just speak back to God what He is to me.
My name is Candace. I'm 21 years old. I attend the University of the Western Cape. I'm currently doing my 4th year in human resource management. I was led to the Anglican church when I moved from my mother to my aunt. They attend different churches, and I think I preferred the Anglican church. I do spend a lot of time praying other than when I'm in church, and it's usually at night or any other time when I'm by myself and I feel at ease. If I'm alone at home, maybe in the afternoon, I would just calm down and say a prayer. Being Anglican has taught me a lot.
I assume in South Africa you see the African History Channel and all these like primitive like Zulus on your doorsteps and all sorts of things like that. And you get the impression of South Africa being a place where you ride elephants to school and you have lions in your streets, whereas it's not like that. I've lived in Pinelands pretty much all my life. I mean, this community is great. It's safe. Like, you can walk outside at night, walk the dogs by yourself. There's crime, obviously, but I haven't been worried about crime once living here.
In the community that I live in, which is Woodstock, we have different kinds of people living here. We have Muslim people, we've got Christian people, we've got quite a few white people. There's coloured, majority is coloureds and blacks. Economically, it's people that are below the breed line and above.
My name is Joe Scaffers. Born in Bloemhof Flats in District 6 in 1939. And we had Anglicans, Catholics, Hindus, Muslims, Jews, AME, Methodists, Moravian, Lutheran, in fact the whole shooting range of religions. But the one thread that went through the whole of District 6 was a thread of respect for each other as people. On the 11th of February 1966, this multi-denominational, multicultural area known as District 6 was declared a white area. That meant that all people of color, myself included, had to get out. The majority of the churches refused to practice the apartheid policies. People somehow or other, they became brainwashed because it was psychological engineering that was done. You take that, the Dutch Reformed churches, absolutely there was no whites sitting with blacks. That was definitely out of those. But the Anglican and the Catholic churches and the New Apostolic churches, they couldn't care a hoot.
It's really sad to see on such a wide scale for something like apartheid to happen, and in the name of God. Yes, they labeled themselves as Christian and they said it was for God, but I question that relationship. when you're in a relationship with God, you don't have those desires to see others oppressed. You have God puts in you a desire to see everyone in equality, living in love with Him.
Well, what we're trying to do is to reimagine the city again, where as the city of Cape Town became an all-white city. We're trying to bring color back into the city.
For me, being South African would be basically moving from apartheid, which we come from, to being free, having freedom of speech, being democracy, having our races interact the way they do.
South Africa shows such a heart of wanting to be a better country, wanting to, as individuals, better themselves, get to like a higher state of really appreciating each other.
To be a Cape Townian, to me, is to be one that's open-hearted, that tries to make everybody feel at home, that tries to add values to people's lives. And I firmly believe that this can all be brought about if each person respects the other, because respect goes a large way, and it doesn't make any difference what denomination you are, what your color of your skin is, or where you come from. The thing is, if you respect each other, you will get respect in return.
What I believe is a Pentecostal church, and the fact that we believe that the Holy Spirit is present in each of us as believers, and also manifests Himself during services and during meeting of believers. So it's a lot more lively. So some people will be dancing, some people will be shouting, hands in the air and that kind of thing. Whatever people feel comfortable to do. It's a lot more free in the way in which the service is done, and it caters for people who want to just sit and be quiet, and also people who are more joyful and they want to just jump around and get excited.